So since the mission was in Doha and not in Abu Dhabi or Dubai, we are not talking about the Emirates, but Qatar. That's the first point. The second point is, so I'm assuming that you're referring, so actually I have a hard time to understand which mission you are referring to, but I assume it's the one where a third-party contribution was made by the government of Qatar. So here, what I can see from the list I have here is that the mission was carried out between the 27th of January and the 30th of January. So indeed, it lasted more than just one day. As for the documentation, when it comes to excluding conflict of interest, if you have any documentation on this, this is essentially an administrative procedure which has to be carried out in an internal system. So I don't have at hand any sort of essay in front of me which lists arguments in favor and against. Again, this is an administrative move that has to be performed in an internal system.
As to information about the accommodation, whether it was covered by the organizers?
Yes, so in this particular, when it comes to this particular mission, indeed, the third-party contribution referred to the reimbursement of a return ticket and also accommodation on the ground.
Thank you. I think that what Balázs was saying is that indeed those trips were also the sort of the hospitality covered accommodation as well. I doubt that we have names of hotels or prices for those hotels in order to give you more detail about that. We will try to recover additional information that you consider relevant as we understand from your question, but we do not have at hand details regarding the price of a hotel night in the hotel where the Director General was hosted during his stay there. As to the analysis regarding conflict of interest, which was made by the Director General at that time, I think that what Balázs was trying to explain is that we are not in a possession of a document or anything which details the pros and cons or the conditions, but that the invitation and the context in which the Director General spoke and traveled provided the elements for him to make the assessment of whether that was conflict of interest or not, and the decision, or let's say the assessment that he made at the time was that that didn't amount to a conflict of interest. But I do not know whether there is any document or anything like that that can be shared, but we are going to ask about that.